Next, we'll have to go through the speech that we failed to listen to yesterday. Miles Taylor will make this presentation. Are you ready? Very good.
Thank you for being present. I would like to present a service for aerial photography from around the world called AeroGRID. It's for offline and for internet aerial imagery from existing photography. So archive imagery, not for new projects. So our mission, in fact, is to try and find and to resell aerial data that from any country we can get it in the world. We will offer full aerial cover of Europe. We pretty much have that already. And where we don't have it, we will use high-resolution satellite orthophotos. And the idea, of course, is not just to have a cheaper product, but also to have a faster product, a product that if you need orthophotos, you can get them within a week or 2 weeks instead of having to wait for 2 months, 3 months. We back this up because the shareholders of AeroGRID have some 35 aircraft with the data collection if it's required to fill in gaps. And we also intend to put other data layers online, including DTMs and building models. So the three shareholders of AeroGRID are three companies that have off-the-shelf aerial photography. Aerodata, which is part of the Japanese Pasco group in Belgium, and we have off-the-shelf data of Belgium, Netherlands, and parts of France. Second shareholder is Get Mapping, Geosense in Britain. And they have off-the-shelf data of the United Kingdom and of South Africa. Third shareholder, GeoContent in Germany. Obviously, they have off-the-shelf data of Germany. So from these three shareholders, we then went looking for partners. And we made agreements with both private providers, but also government providers. And in fact, government providers are becoming more and more frequent as partners. After this conference, I'm going to Lisbon to sign an agreement with the Portuguese government for their data. So effectively, once we have the whole of Europe available in orthophotos, then we will start to add other layers of GIS information, digital elevation models and building models. As you can see, we're all mapping organizations, and we're all photogrammetric organizations. Pasco is a big company, but AeroData is not so big. And so the partnership we have with other agencies is really on an equal basis. It's not about somebody like Google or even, let's say, one of the big satellite companies coming and saying, well, will you give us your data? Because actually we're talking with companies that sometimes are bigger than we are. So it's very much a professional and equal partnership type of arrangement. We have 3 levels. One level, core partners are the people who actually sell our data into markets that we think are interesting. Affiliate partners they make their pricing fit to ours in one way or another. We have about 12 of these, and ad hoc partners are any other type of supplier that we have found, and there are some 50 ad hoc partners around the world from lots of different countries. So the marketing territories today, it's Western Europe, the USA, Japan. That's where still a lot of the companies who are looking for data come from. It's actually interesting speaking to an audience with many Russian people that I do understand that there is a quite strong demand also in Russia for this. So we could maybe fill in purple this biggest country in the world. That would make my map look much better. And our typical markets, then that is effectively business. To most of our customers are private. Apart from, let's say, homeland security, we do work for the governments and multinational organizations in this field. But yeah, 90% of business is private. So we have two forms of delivery. The push, of course, where we get the data to the client either by FTP or hard drive, and we can do that in any projection, resolution, or format. And more the online via WMS, WFS, and if necessary, WMTS. But I don't think that's really our field, and I'll explain why. As you can see, we can supply data from all over the globe, from Brazil, from Israel, from Japan, from Kenya, many other countries. And let's talk about Europe now, because this is our core market. 48 nations, each one of them having probably their own orthophotos. There are one or two countries I haven't identified yet, but we know they exist, and so our objective is to try and use this, especially since when the government is involved, you have a guaranteed update, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, but it's very important for our clients to know that they can get refreshed data. So we have more than 4 million square kilometers covered in Europe and 35 countries, continental USA, Canada, South Africa, etc. And what are our advantages? Well, economical access to whole country data sets, flexible payment with transaction or unlimited use, and the licensing conditions, we try and make them as simple as possible. But I think the most important is the fact that because they're produced by photogrammetric companies, we have the currency, the accuracy. We can give a guarantee to organizations that this data is fit for the use they want to make of it. If they want to do an engineering project, they want to do a pre-study, we can guarantee what the quality is of this information, which is something that obviously you will not get if you're working with, let's say, Google, for example. So our server covers most of Western Europe. I'm hoping Portugal will be in blue by the end of this week. But you can see it also extends into Eastern Europe. The purple shows data that we've identified, but which will only get put online if we have a client who is willing to pay, let's say, for a yearly subscription. We don't put it online before then. Also have USA, Canada, Japan, and South Africa that we can provide. So effectively, I'm not going to take too long on that, but you can see that we already came quite some distance since we started the company 4 years ago. And this WMS service is very robust. We work for very big companies. We have 99.5% SLA, which is effectively what is needed for a big company that depends upon having 100% accuracy to data. We have 3 seconds latency. In Europe, you come on, you're going to get your image refreshed within 3 seconds. And effectively in North America and Asia, we have solutions to be able to reach that too. And we have a double system in London, England, meaning if one catches fire, the other one can still broadcast. So there we are. We have our WMS server in 2D, and next step, we believe, should be to put it in 3D. What does that mean? In 3D, it doesn't mean a pretty picture, although of course this is a very pretty picture. This is Paris with very high resolution oblique imagery. These are vector models, and we have the technology available today that you could tune into this and actually download 3D vector models into your GIS. So our world is not just a pretty picture. There's a little bit of intelligence behind it too. So thank you very much. I don't know if any questions.
Пожалуйста, есть вопросы к докладчику? Нет, давайте тогда поблагодарим.
No questions. Okay, let's thank the presenter.
Great presentation. There's no need for questions. Thank you very much.